Hello and welcome to Singapore, guys. This is round 13 of Season 2 of F1 2013 Career Mode in the Ferrari, of course. And here we are in Singapore under the lights for this night race around this Marina Bay circuit. So this is probably one of my favourite circuits on the calendar. I tend to be really fast around this track. However, my finishing rate is pretty terrible. I've actually never in the history of Formula 1 games ever finished a 100% race around this track, so it's going to be very tough. And when you throw in the mixture of 54% chance of rain, it's going to be almost impossible. But in terms of the strategy today, we're running a 3-stopper using the options 3 times and the primes once with an aggressive fuel strategy. I'm going to be running lean revs throughout most of the race so I can preserve those rear tires. So that's going to be the strategy today. Hopefully I can get to the end. So it's going to be a pretty tough race, especially when you throw in the rain. So here we go, onto the grid. Wish us luck. Alright, so here we are on the grid of the Singapore Grand Prix under lights here in Marina Bay. We need to fight back into this championship, so the run to the title starts here. And away we go here in Singapore. Looks like we got off to a nice and decent start for once. We're going to hold the lead coming into turn 1. Alonso gets a shocker of a start, so we're going to be uncontested coming into turn 1, 2 and 3. Minor lock up there through turn 4, but we managed to maintain the lead fairly well. So all we got to do now is just build this lead because we know the tyre wear is going to be bad and the rain will be coming. So basically what we're going to do here is we're going to pull away and bolt away and trying to get this lead as high as we can. Alright, so now I'm coming in for my very first pit stop of the race. My engineer just told me that the rain is scheduled to come down in less than 10 minutes time. So what I'm trying to do now is gain some time by doing the undercut and making the most out of this second stint of the race, because the lap time is really long around here in Singapore, and by the time you do about 3 to 4 laps, you've passed 10 minutes. So what I'm trying to do now is just trying to make the most out of this second stint, but it's going to be tough because I'm going to have to repass some of the leaders who haven't stopped yet, but they're going to lose a lot of time by staying out these extra laps. But I know that it's going to take some time for the rain to accumulate and make the track wet enough for wet tires. So this is what I'm trying to do. Hopefully I can gain a little bit more time out of this strategy call. But I thought about staying out and trying to stretch my super soft tyres for another 4 to 5 laps, but I just thought, you know, it's going to be pretty tough because the tyre wear is very tough around this track, and I thought it really wouldn't be worth it. So hopefully this works out, but as I said before, we're going to have to pass quite a few cars to get back into the lead, and as you can see here, we're losing a lot of time to Jenson Button, who's on older tyres. Mclaren is fairly slow in real life in 2013, but on the game it's pretty quick, so hopefully he doesn't hold us up too much. Jenson doing fairly well at this stage in 5th place, a little bit higher than what you'd see him in real life, but we're just trying to get him out of the way at this stage using the DRS, and we should be able to pass him without any problems here. So there we go, up into 5th place, and next up is Mark Webber in that Red Bull, and now cutting to lap 13. Now the rain is starting to come down a little bit harder, and I think there might be a few cars in the pit lane here which will promote us to the lead. And there we go, we've now got the lead. We're going purple at this stage, so the strategy looks like is working. So we might in fact gain about another 5 or 6 seconds over the field that we had before. I think we had about a 10 or 11 second lead over the field before I even made my first pit stop, but now it's lap 17. I'll be coming in for a new set of tyres. This time it will be the intermediate tyres because the rain is coming down heavy and the track is ever worsening lap by lap. So what I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to anticipate that massive grip loss by coming in for a new set of intermediate tyres. I know the track is probably going to get worse after this very next lap, so I'm trying to avoid a massive time loss by being on the wrong tyre at the wrong time. So it looks like the rest of the AI cars are not coming in yet, so I'm going to be the first in the field to put on a new set of intermediate tyres. Hopefully the track is wet enough for this tyre to maintain a decent temperature. I don't want them to overheat, otherwise it'll be an absolute nightmare. The tyres will go off like crazy and they'll probably just melt off the car just about, is how dramatic the tyre wear is on this game when you put on a set of intermediate tyres when the track is even slightly dry. But now cutting forward about half a lap and it looks like the tyres are overheating. The track is still too dry. The AI cars right behind me on dry tyres have so much more grip than me. It's just ridiculous. Just look at how wet the track is, and to see that the AI cars are just flourishing in these conditions is really frustrating because you can see how much water is on the track and how heavy it's raining. You'd think that the AI cars on dry tyres would be absolutely struggling, but no, it's actually me who's struggling, and it's going to be an absolute fight to maintain track position here. Webber's already got away and he'll be stretching out that lead, and he's still not opting to come in for a new set of intermediate tyres, and neither does Rosberg, so that's very crucial. So the track is taking a very long time to get wet here, but now on lap 19, one lap later, it looks like we're finally starting to make some inroads on Webber, who finally pits as he's stuck behind one of the back markers there. That's probably a Marussia. So with Mark Webber pitting, that now relinquishes the lead to myself, and I can finally concentrate on stretching out this lead without any distractions. But now coming through here on lap 22, we've made a mistake. We've locked up and I've had to flick spin the car around to avoid smashing into that wall, and thankfully we don't lose any damage there. We've lost a little bit of time, but we'll just concentrate on trying to just stroke the car along without making too many mistakes, and we'll just continue this race on as we were. But now lap 29, the track is drying out quite a bit, at least on my screen it is. It seems to be fairly dry, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come in for a set of dry tyres. I'm going to put the prime tyres on this time. I'm going to test out if these tyres are any good in race conditions, so hopefully it works out. I should be able to do about one more stop from here if I can stretch out this set of primes long enough. And the pit stop is 3.1 seconds, so we're not going to lose any time in the pits. But look at that, on the leaderboards there, Sebastian Vettel is 22nd in the Grand Prix, and with only 19 runners left in the race, that means he's retired. So that's going to have some massive championship implications to come into effect after this race is done. So hopefully I can have a massive point haul, and then I'll be really close to Sebastian in the championship standings after this race. So hopefully it all works out, but what I got to do now is just get my head down and finish this race, because as you guys know, I still haven't finished a 100% race around Singapore. So that's what I got to do. Got to get my head down and concentrate and just get to the finish here. So it looks like we've rejoined in front of Nico Rosberg, who of course is still on those intermediate tyres. So looks like we've got the strategy advantage here. The tyres are coming up to temperature well, and there's a decent amount of grip. Actually, no, there's not. There's absolutely no grip at all. We're in the wall, and our race is... no, it's not over. We've only lost a bit of our wing, so thankfully we can rejoin. We don't have to come back into the pits and change our wing, but that's going to cost us a lot of time. We've lost 3 places already, but now at the end of 3 laps later, the rest of the field is coming in for their stops, and I hope that Mark Webber has come in as well. Looks like he's rejoining the track now, so we might just about rejoin in the lead. Yes, we do, but crucially, we've rejoined the lead. We've still got our lead intact, but it's been cut down to a very fine margin. So with only about 16 or 17 laps to go, we've run wide coming into the final corner. It looks like Mark Webber's got a run on us coming around the outside into turn 1, and he's just got so much more grip than me on the racing line there. I was slightly offline, and there was a bit more water there, so it was very tough to maintain track position there. But look at the track, guys. It's still fairly wet. It's actually quite astonishing to see how damp and how wet the track still is, because the rain stopped raining about 15 laps ago, and that's what, half an hour in terms of time and laps done. around here in Singapore, but now we get the move done around Mark Webber around the outside. I'm busy talking about weather, but yeah, here we go. We've actually locked up coming into turn 3 now, and we've given Mark Webber the lead back, so that's very frustrating, and it looks like he might actually maintain the lead this time, and yes, he does. He's stretched out the lead to about 3 or 4 seconds, so my prime tyres are pretty dead now. They've done quite a few laps in this race. And now I'm coming in for my final pit stop of the day. We almost spin it into the garages there, and that would have completely ended our race, quite embarrassingly. But here we are for our final pit stop. We've still got 4 laps of fuel on board the car. What I was trying to do there was I was just mainly just saving the rear tyres, because I was getting quite a bit of wheel spin on those prime tyres on a damn track, and it really wasn't working out too well. So now we're cutting to lap 60, and nothing else has really happened in the last 10 laps until this stage here, where we're lapping Valtteri up the inside, coming into the hairpin here, and he leaves us plenty of room there. So kudos to Valtteri Bottas there for leaving us plenty of room. So now we can pretty much concentrate on catching Lewis Hamilton, who was a couple seconds up the road until this point. But now he's getting held up massively by one of the Marussias there. I believe that's Jules Bianchi. We're going to go up his inside, but there's really not enough room there. If I would have dived it up the inside any harder, I probably would have smashed into the side of Lewis Hamilton's side pod there. So that's really not what I want. I really don't want to risk my 15 points, which I already have, just to get another 3 points, really. When Sebastian Vettel is going to get a big fat 0 points, or it'd be pretty stupid to throw that podium away. So I'm going to try and just maintain this 3rd place. Unless Lewis makes a massive mistake here, I really don't see myself getting up into 2nd place. But Mark Webber claims victory here in the Singapore Grand Prix. I'm sliding around like crazy as my tyres are going off. It looks like Lewis is actually struggling too, but the track after 61 laps or after 30 laps still isn't dry, so it's pretty weird to see. But we're coming across the line now to grab 15 points here in the Singapore Grand Prix.
That's a great 3rd place. Congratulations, 15 points.
So there we are, lads. We finished 3rd place here in Marina Bay. Mark Webber gets 1st place, with Daniel Ricciardo getting 7th place and some solid points for Toro Rosso. So it's been a great day for the Australians. 3 of us there in the top 7. And scrolling down to the bottom of the results, we can see that Sebastian Vettel, Fernando Alonso and Kimi Raikkonen do not score any points. So too Nico Rosberg. So quite a lot of DNFers there. And with 2 of my main championship rivals not finishing in this race, that's going to help me massively in the standings. And so far it has. We're now up into 2nd place in the standings, and I'll be looking to maintain that place as we head into the final races of the season. So with those DNFs there, that's helped us an absolute treat in the standings. In terms of the constructors though, Infinity Red Bull Racing has stretched out the lead in 1st place due to Mark Webber winning that race. So that's been the Singapore Grand Prix. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Until the next race in Korea, I'll see you guys next time.